Hey everyone, this is Neil Napier here. Just let me adjust GoToWebinar a little bit so I can see all the questions. Perfect. Right. All right. Patrick's here. Perfect. Patrick, Annette, good to see you on the call as well. Who else do we have on the call? We've got Nelius, we've got Philippe, Vic, Giselle, good to have you here as well. Ebe, Annette, Adrian, and a lot more people joining in. Giselle, no worries. Giselle says, sorry, I lost power yesterday. But something really funny happened yesterday, and I want to tell you before I start, and that's kind of the reason why I'm not talking as loudly as I usually do. So if you were on the workshop yesterday till the end, you probably knew, but you probably know this, but if you don't, I'm staying at a hotel in Venice right now, and I'm staying in this hotel because the internet is really good, and it's good enough for me to do these workshops. That's why I wanted to stay here. But last night, when I was presenting, and it was about 11 p.m. at that time, I guess I was quite loud. The neighbor next to me, they knocked on the wall a few times, so the wall between my room and their room. And I went quiet, I went quiet. And of course, because I was worried that I was probably keeping someone else awake. But then I had another quick call with someone, and then 20 minutes later, my door, there's a knock on my door, and I open the door, and there's this big, bulky Italian security guard who says nothing, just hands me a piece of paper, a tiny piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, it read, "Be quiet, or you'll be kicked out," in English. I was surprised. So yeah, I mean, now I got to be a little bit quiet, more than I usually am. Yes, that's true. I mean, that's exactly what happened, and I was surprised. I guess it was 11 p.m. You're thinking that not everyone's going to be in bed, but I guess some people were. So anyway, it's still 9 p.m. for me, but I'm not going to be as loud as I usually am. So good that you can hear me all right. Okay, good. Excellent. Now, as you know, this is the first of our 9-part webinar series. My goal in this webinar series and the workshop series is to give you a more practical side of business, not just how to use Kyvio, but how to build a business, how to create products, how to sell products, how to do email marketing, and then show you how Kyvio fits in that altogether. Now, there are a few people who gave me their websites, their membership sites, and their emails to look at to review live on call. We'll most likely come to that at the end, more like right here from July 3rd onwards to July 17th. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to start by focusing on the core aspects of running a business. Today's session, it's May 22. Today's session is all about your first product, your landing page, and email marketing. So this might be a little bit longer session. I mean, I say that about 1.5 hours. And what I want to talk about now is if you're just starting out or if you're stuck, what to do next. So if you are quite advanced, you might find more value in some of the things I'll say, maybe not everything, because now I want to outline the entire structure of a business online. So if you're watching it more as a newbie, yes, this will be the perfect session for you. But if you are a little bit experienced, if you're already making money, then maybe not everything will be to your benefit, but there might be some things that you might not have considered before. I go to a lot of webinars, a lot of workshops, because sometimes I pick up things that I wouldn't have thought about otherwise. That's the idea here as well. So with that being said, let's start by talking about your first product, landing page, and then email marketing. Now, it's highly likely that most of the people on this session already have a niche, a market that they want to focus on, which is very good. But if you don't, there's always 3 kinds of market that have a rabid set of buyers, enough of a community online, and those people spend money as well. So the community is there, the community is big, and the community spends money, right? So those are 3 things you want to think about. So the 3 big niches that are common to all of this are health. Okay, this mouse is not very good to actually draw, but let's go ahead and use the text part. So there is health and wellness generally, or there is, marketing, so make money online. I'll put that as MMO or wealth. And then the final one is relationships. You can be guaranteed that if you explore one of these markets, if you go deep enough, you will find problems you can solve. You will find community that is willing to pay you to solve these problems, and you will find community that's willing to pay you often, not just once. So when we think about help, I mean, there are a ton of different options there, right? Again, this is me trying to draw a straight line with this mouse. But there is, for example, how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to build muscles, how to eat right, how to meditate, how to do yoga, all those things. So there are multiple different options for you to explore when you go into the health business. Now, let's talk about yoga. Yoga itself is such a big field. If you are just starting out, it is nearly impossible to teach someone yoga from scratch. I mean, you can try, but there's so many other people doing the same thing that you will get lost when you're trying to find your target customer. Instead, if I just think about yoga here, so let's write that down. If I think about yoga, instead of teaching everyone yoga, you should try and focus on a sub-niche or a specific kind of yoga that maybe a lot of people don't know about, right? Or a specific positioning. So instead of just teaching people yoga, teaching everyone yoga, focus on maybe teaching yoga for pregnant moms, right? You've narrowed down a subset of your audience that you're going to target. Of course, pregnant moms are not going to be repeat buyers after a certain time, but that's a market you can target. If I think about meditation, the most common one is meditation for busy entrepreneur. That's fine, right? What if you do something different? What if instead of just saying meditation for busy entrepreneurs, you say something along the lines of meditation, or rather meditate while you walk to work or drive to work. So this is not even busy entrepreneur. This is, a lot more people, but you're teaching meditation in a specific situation. How to meditate while you're driving your car without crashing your car, right? So it's something like that. How to focus on the present. And I'm talking about a product. I'm talking about an offer that you can make that will serve a very small segment of market, because initially you need to test out your offers, your products with specific markets. Let's say if I go for this and meditate while you walk or drive to work. Now, if you're able to sell, let's say, 1,000 copies of this ebook or video training, whatever you have, you've got people who drive to work on your list. What else can you sell to them beyond just meditation? You can say, let's say something simple as flexible yoga positions you can do in your car, right? You can also offer them, say something along the lines of, let's go here, something along the lines of quick 2-minute, I don't know, finger food while you drive. Now, I know I'm kind of extending the reach here, right? We are trying to get more kinds of products, maybe in even different markets, but that's fine. The key thing that you need here is the audience. This is your audience. What is a common thing? That they all have a car, that they all drive. And if you know they have a car, eventually you can even promote stuff like, hey, if you got car troubles, this is what you should do. Now, that doesn't need to be your own product, but that's where affiliate marketing comes in. A lot of people go about affiliate marketing the wrong way. They think that I can just start from nothing and sell products as an affiliate. No, you can't do that. You need a community. You need to first solve a problem for that community so they trust you, and then they will pay. They will buy upon your recommendation. So drilling down really, really deep, it's just a way to find a community that resonates with you. So if I just think about the numbers, now I'll just use US as example. I don't know, I think with the population is like 300 million altogether. Out of those 300 million, I'm sure 1 in 3 people are worried about their health, right? So let's just do this text instead. So I'm sure there are 100 million people that are thinking or worrying about their health. Out of that, maybe only 20% of people are actively online or within your reach. So let's say there are 20 million people who are, let's go ahead, 20 million people who are within your reach in the health market. Maybe out of that, only 5% of people want to do yoga, right? So only 1 million people want to do yoga at any given time in the US. But out of that, let's say if you go for yoga for pregnant moms, I'm sure if I think about statistically, half of them are men, half of them are women. So that only leaves you 500,000, but not every woman's going to be pregnant at the same time. So at the same time, maybe, again, I don't know what the ratio is, maybe it's like 10%. So maybe at any given time, you have an active audience of 50,000. Now, let me just find the pencil thing again there. Okay, you've got an active audience of 50,000 who you're targeting with your offer over here. Now, that doesn't mean that you stop at 50,000 because remember, this is the kind of market where people come and go, right? They're pregnant, 9 months later, they're not. And then you go for the next one and the next one and the next one. But even when they deliver the baby, they will still need to do yoga after, just different kind of yoga. So you can then still build trust and communication with this audience and market to them differently after. But the point is, you will build a connection. If I think about, again, going back to meditation, right? I'll use the same numbers, 20 million for health, 1 million for meditation. And out of that, maybe only, again, 20% of the people drive to work, right? So that gives you about 200,000. This is, of course, a bigger number than pregnant moms, but maybe this gives you a number of 200,000. So the target market that you can now reach is quite big. You just work with them first, and then you work with others if you want to. So you can extend this, either you can go horizontally. So if you've done while driving in your car, maybe the next one could be when you're cooking, maybe the next one could be when you are doing household chores. So those are different ways of positioning it, right? Or alternatively, like I said, if you've done meditation, you can go to flexible yoga, a different vertical. You can go to, say, cooking. In this case, like what kind of recipes you should make so that you can eat them while you can eat the food while you're driving. You go into a different vertical. So the very first thing you need to do is work out your market type. If your market type is not specific enough, you will have trouble selling. And I'm just telling you this from experience. Even with Kyvio, we work so hard to build a good platform, but some days we have trouble selling because our messaging is too broad. It's for everyone, but that's not okay. So if I think about this example, make money online, wealth and whatnot, we have a very specific software that does a few different things, which is fine. So already we're looking at software here. Okay, I'm going to assume some similar numbers. So say about 20 million people at any given time, are interested in make money online or wealth market, some kind of market. Maybe only, I would say less than 1% of the people want this kind of software, right? Less than 1% of the people. That puts that number at about 200,000 if I'm doing it right, right? Even then, if you try and target all 200,000 people in the US with Kyvio, it just wouldn't work in the beginning. It just cannot work. So instead, what we have to do with Kyvio is go further down, drill down further, and say, how about, let's say, business builder for health coaches, right? Because we have found that a lot of our customers are in health and wellness market. So I've already brought it down a lot. I mean, health coaches, out of those 200,000 people, maybe about 1% of the people are health coaches. Now that's about, if I can look at the numbers, if I do my math right, that's 2,000 people. Now, this is a tiny, tiny number, right? But we're just doing a proof of concept because I can take the same thing and I can extend this to, say, dietitians or food coaches, whatever you want to call that, right? I can take the same thing and extend that to fitness trainers. I can take the same thing and I can extend that to, pharmaceuticals, whatever. The point being that when you are creating a product, don't create a product that is so big that that's going to fit like everyone. If I just think about the US numbers, ideally, you want to be, if you sit down and think about how many people there are at any given time who are looking for that solution, that should be less than, to me, 250,000. So 250,000, because that makes it easy advertising on Facebook. That makes it easy really understanding what your customers' pains are, what they want, how to talk to them, all those sorts of things. If you go too broad, it's going to backfire very quickly. Is that clear so far? Just let me know. And is it helping as well? And can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Sandeep can indeed. All right. Okay. Let me just look at the questions now. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Giselle makes a very good point. Yoga for seniors, yoga for arthritis, and if they have arthritis, then maybe there are other problems as well that you can solve for them. I mean, I have 99 problems, right? I'm not going to turn into a song, but I have 99 problems, and if you solve one, and if you know who I am, you have an opportunity to solve another, and I'll pay you for that. Sure, sometimes there's a disconnect, right? So sometimes what happens is, let's say you're selling, coaching, you're selling training on meditation while you drive to work, and that's great. I look at you as a meditation coach. I look at you as a health and fitness coach. But suddenly, if you start selling me how to fix your car, I'm going to be like, I don't trust you. What do you exactly do? So in that case, like I said, either affiliate offers are good, or if you know Eben Pagan, he ran a dating product called Double Your Dating, and his name in there was David D'Angelo. That was his pen name. So he built another pen name to sell different kinds of products. So you can do that too. There's nothing wrong with having a pen name. People don't judge you for that. I mean, sure, there might be some that'll say, oh, you must be shady because you have a pen name, but you don't want those customers anyway, right? You just want the customers who are comfortable with your identity, whatever identity you put forward in front of them. So just work on that. All right. Giselle says, this is amazing brainstorming activity. You're opening my eyes to so many possibilities. Good, good, I'm glad. So Sandeep, how would you find someone to write or come up with a content to sell, for example, meditation or yoga, if you're not good or don't know what to write? Vic, Sandeep, very good question. Let me just make a note of it. I mean, I have it in mind, but I'll make sure that I'll cover this as well soon. Okay? Okay, Michael says listening to you with one ear while taking care of the twins. So yeah, that's how it goes. That's again multitasking. All right. So this is how you come up with, let's say, a niche or a product idea to begin with. Like I said, don't make it so big. Like even if your product is about list building in the make money online market, you're selling a product about how to build a list. That's fine. That's okay. I think your product will sell, but it will not sell if you're not talking to a specific kind of audience. So it should be how to build a list without running Facebook ads. And I know you've kind of polarized audience, right? You've decided that if someone runs Facebook ads, maybe this course is not for them. That's fine. You have to decide what your major audience is. And once you have exhausted this audience, you can change the sales page to be how to build a list using Facebook ads. And maybe hopefully you already cover that in your course as well, right? How to build a list part-time, how to build a list after your 9 to 5 work, how to build a list in 60 minutes every day. You're targeting busy people that way, right? Money is not the issue here now. They're busy, so you're targeting those kind of people, right? So you just approach the same product, same problem from different angles, from different positionings. Now, once you're done with the product idea, I'm going to delete most of this. Let me do that. I'm going to delete a lot of this except for maybe these last few things there. Okay. All right. So once you've come up with this product idea, the next thing you need to do, as in the list, is create a product. Now, there are different kinds of products you can create. There is, of course, digital. Digital, again, let me just do this. Okay, so there's digital. There is physical. Two different kinds of products. But under digital, you've got info, software. I mean, maybe also you could say Service is one kind of product. On the physical, you've got a lot of different varieties. You've got cups and t-shirts and all little cool trinkets, a lot of different things, right? You need to decide what you want to do. I don't do any physical products at the moment. It's not because I don't believe in them. I do. I think they can work really well. I think people always want to buy something. So you can sell physical products to them, but to me, that's an entirely different ball game. To me, I don't have the time right now to try and sell wristbands or, iPhone covers or whatnot. I just don't have the time to do all of that. So I don't touch that at all. Instead, what I do is information and software products because that's something that is more comfortable for me. So it is important that you find something that is comfortable for you. Another example, or story rather, Stephen and I, we love software. We do. We love Stephen more than I. We love the fact that we can create something and a lot of people use it to build their business. Now that's great. And we thought, hey, why not tell our customers to do the same thing if they want to? Because maybe they do. We tried. It failed. Most of our customers don't want to build software. They want to use it, but building is another ball game. They don't want to build it. So in that sense, not everything is right for everyone. If you try and sell software to these people who are driving to work, they're not going to use that. I mean, it's the worst thing you can give to them. Instead, maybe you want to actually give them physical products, CDs that they can just put in and it plays a meditation tape. Think about them. Think about your customer. What circumstances are they in? What are their problems? What do you think they could need? And I know a lot of people who start creating stuff, they create it because they have their own itch to scratch. So they have their own problem that they want to solve. The thing is, after you've been doing it for a while, you kind of get disconnected from your customers because you're focused, you're playing on a different level. You have, too little time to create stuff anymore because you're doing a lot of business operations and your life is nothing like theirs. You're making a lot of money, you're traveling, they're not. And you lose that connection. It happened to me. I went through a phase where I had a lot of trouble selling, marketing, because I forgot what life was like for me. I didn't realize what my customers were going through, even though I had been through that before. So there can be that disconnect as well. So you really need to interview people, you really need to talk to people who are your target audience and figure out how can you help them best. For me, like I said, information and software product is the easiest way to do that. We don't do services because they take too long, but that's also because I haven't worked out the systems, I haven't worked out the processes. If I did, it'll be easy. So pick an option that fits you best. Pick an option that works for you best. Like I said, if it was me, if I was going after meditation while you drive to work, I'd probably create information product, but even put them on CDs and give away that for free to get the first sale. That's what I would do. So Sandeep made a very good question. Sandeep said that, Neil, how do we create a product if we don't have any content? We don't want to, basically, and that's okay. You're not lazy if you don't want to create content. Listen, there is so much content available out there. If you genuinely think that I can't improve it myself, I can't add anything more to it myself that will make it better than what's out there, that's okay. Not everyone is a creator. Some people are marketers, they're sellers. Their job is to market and sell. Their job is not to create. And the world needs both kind of people. So if you happen to be one of those people that does not know how to create or does not want to create, you just want to market and sell, that's fine. There are a few ways of approaching that. I would recommend now at this point, you go to YouTube and you type in Amazon takeover. And hopefully, nope. Okay, we really have to work on, yep, there we go. I was going to say we have to work on ranking the videos. So this is Amazon takeover. This is trainings that I have done, and we need better thumbnails as well. This is training that I have done that shows how to find Amazon authors and how to work with them to deliver them membership sites and get paid in return. right? So if I was in a position where I didn't want to create content, and some days I am, some days I don't want to work. I don't want to create stuff because maybe there's someone better than me. Again, another story. You probably all know about Sam Little. Sam Little is in our Facebook group, right? He came to me and he said, Neil, I've created these funnels. What do you think? Can you give me feedback? And I looked at them and I was completely blown away. It turned out that Sam Little had a much, much deeper knowledge of funnels than I did. And that's not because I'm dumb, but that's because I'm too busy and I'm too focused elsewhere to worry about building funnels. Because I'm managing all the operations, I'm building Kyvio, right? So I said, Sam, you know what? I want to do a funnel-based course for our customers, but I just don't know if I can offer them enough value. So what if I work with you to help you structure everything and we take this course to our customers? And he said, sure, we work together. I basically mentored him and he created that course and we released that course. And he's quite happy with the outcome. So my point here is that you don't always have to be good at everything. Find your strengths, play with that, find your weakness, overcome that by partnering up with other people. I would rather own 50% of a business that can make money than 100% of a business that doesn't make money. So that's the key thing to remember. If you can't create courses, there's also the possibility of content curation. You have to do it properly, responsibly. You have to offer more value. Again, I think that's covered in another course called Course Curator. That one's paid. But if you want to offer value, then there are many ways of doing that. There are many, many ways of putting yourself out there and offering people something that they perhaps haven't seen before, they haven't seen done in this way. Now, I'm sure that this is not the first workshop you've ever been to. You've been to many before this. And I probably am talking about similar things that you've seen before, but maybe I'm approaching it differently. Maybe I'm using stories to give better examples. Maybe I'm using a whiteboard and that just makes more sense. So your approach, your positioning, the value you bring to the table is more important than you realize. You could be impacting with what you know on thousands of people out there. So it is your responsibility, it is your job to make a difference. Don't let the fact that you're not a creator hold you back. I mean, it's good to be a creator, but let's face it, marketers, support people, they all serve just as important role in the entire process. So focus on your strengths. Now, let me see if there are any questions there. Okay, Adrian, you're wonderful, Neil, when you're not selling. As soon as you start selling, it goes south and you start to become, well, not so attractive. I guess so. I guess so. I think I need to work on my selling then. Giselle, message to the dad with twins on the call. He should create a course on how to run a business if you are a stay-at-home dad. Giselle, perfect question. I would buy that. I would love to buy that course. And yeah, for Michael, that might not be his core business. But hey, if you got something and if you can help people, why not? And if you don't want to sell it, Michael, partner up with someone else who has access to that market. And again, a lot of people do, right? There are a lot of business owners out there. There are a lot of affiliates out there who know other business owners. So you can absolutely work with them. All right? Cool. But yeah, Adrian, coming back to you, sometimes I got to sell because, I have to eat too. I can't eat my words all the time. Okay, cool. So let me ask you this question. Is your first product part clear? Do you understand how you should approach it? Do you understand how you should solve problems? And do you understand what kind of products you can create? Let me know, and I'll move forward to the next part. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Got my first product and who I'm targeting. Yes, I understand. Excellent. Let me then move on to the next part where we talk about landing pages. So Here's the thing. I'm these days trying out a new thing where I'm trying to sell without a landing page. It is tough, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just writing long emails. Everything about the offer is covered in those emails. We don't, I'm trying not to build a landing page. Why? Because it takes time sometimes. I have to either give it to someone else or I have to do it myself. Even if I do it myself or give it to someone else, I still have to record a video because people are used to watching me on video, or when I'm selling something, they're used to hearing the message, via audio at least. So as much as I want to avoid a landing page sometimes, I can't. It is an easy way to present all the information I can and I have to sell something or to sell a message, to build trust, to offer value. I mean, you yourself, when you signed up, if I had linked you straight to a GoToWebinar link, you might not have signed up. If I had just added you to a webinar, you might not have shown up. Instead, I asked you to go to this page and you signed up, and I just put this video on today because that's something, again, I hadn't done. I mean, this page has been online for like 10 days now, but I only put the video on it now because I had forgotten, I had been a little bit lazy, and this wasn't my priority. That happens, right? So having a landing page is useful. You can approach it in different ways. You can, as I sell, try and sell via email, but if you're not a good copywriter, you can go wrong. It's a little bit risky, let's just say that. So what I recommend when you're building a landing page, you have to start from somewhere. I recommend use one of the templates available in Kyvio. I'll show you that in a little bit. If you don't want to use a template in Kyvio, okay, let me pause. So a landing page has two elements, right? One element is design. Let's put that here. Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay, one element is design and the other element is sales copy, or rather let's just put as copy, right? Which means that for any page to be awesome, you need those two things. You need like really good design and you need really good copy. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm terrible at designs. I'm really, really bad at designs, but I'm good at copy. So not all hope is lost. So what I do instead is I write a copy in like a Google document, and I would give it to my designer and I would say, hey, can you design this? But that's also because I'm trying to save time and do something else. I don't want to build every page myself. Fortunately, in my case, I can have a team do it. So I build out the copy and I give it to my designer and I say, hey, can you make it look good? That's their job. So if you don't want to do that, then just use one of the templates available in Kyvio. That's the easy way to do it. Alternatively, what you can also do is you can do no design, just simple text. And that works too, right? Because it's kind of honest. It's simple. You're not trying to make it look amazing just to sell it. You're a busy person yourself and you say, hey, I don't have the time to make it look amazing, but I do have the time to work with you to help you in your business. That's where I spend most of my energy on. And here's what you can get by working with me. So as long as your copy is good, you can overcome bad design. As long as your design is good, you can also overcome bad copy. But if both are bad, you're in trouble. So what I would recommend is, if you don't have, like I said, I can't really help you with design skills right now. The only thing I can say is go look in Kyvio, use one of the templates, but I can help you with copy skills. So there is a 12-step sales copy formula online. I can't remember who created it. We'll find out. Yeah. Okay, that's some 10-minute pages, but I think the early one is from Copy Hacker. Okay, I don't think any one of them is original. Maybe this might be. Oh yeah, David Frey is the one. Okay. This is really, really good. I can link this to you right now. Okay, so there. Now, read this in detail, in depth, and understand that even if you're not a copywriter by profession, you can still write good, targeted content for people as long as you follow some steps, as long as you do what this page directs you to do. All right, so let's just look at the headline for a second. 12-step sales as a system, get attention, and they've given you 3 proven headline templates, that sort of thing. But let's go back to our listing. Now, remember, we are trying to sell meditation tapes to people who drive to work. So if I look at the 12-step formula, how to blank, or secrets of blank, or warning, don't even think of blank until you blank. They're just 3, suggestions. The key thing, the very, very key thing, is that you should use the headline to get attention, to call them out, to get them to realize, yeah, this is the time they need to look carefully. So what I would say for this one, for this particular product type, you could say secrets of meditation revealed. But here's the thing, even if I say that, maybe, a person who's driving all the time, they don't even think about meditating. Maybe meditating is not on their radar even, right? So you have to decide who you're writing for. Are you writing for someone who knows about meditation or they don't? Because you need to know what level your audience is at. And I think this is something we covered. Let me open up this. It's a really good post. I'll show you this as well. I think it already went up there. Let me try it out. Yeah, this one. It is really, really good. So let me just copy this image and I'm going to send it to you. Okay, I'll open a new tab as well. Okay, so you have to remember what stage is your audience at. If your audience does not even know about meditation, they're completely unaware, right? They have no idea what it is that they should be doing. How do you target them? Well, in that case, the headline needs to be even more basic, right? So headline could be, let's go back here. Headline in that case could be, there. How to enjoy your morning drive, right? We're not talking about meditation yet. We haven't even opened that topic. All we're saying that we're talking about the outcome, how to be happy, how to enjoy your morning drive, right? So that's the, let's go back here. That's the getting attention part. I've used the how to framework. Second part is identifying the problem. Tell your reader how it feels to have that problem, right? And they talk about telling a short, painful story. So in this case, when I'm writing this, this wouldn't even be a full-fledged sales page. This would be more like an information piece because remember, they're in the worst stage possible. I have to spend a lot of time to work with them to get them to become a buyer. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell a story which might be coherent to them and congruent to me. So I would approach this like, have you ever felt that you leave your home feeling somewhat good? It's Monday morning, you wake up, you're in a bad mood, but you're hoping that, at least you get to work and things would be okay. But you get to work and there's a lot of distractions, people honking everywhere, people on the street begging, whatever you want to say. How do you point out to this? How do you feel calm? How do you feel happy when the world around you is just chaotic? Right? So I won't go through all the 12 steps, but my point is that you need to put yourself in the shoes of your audience and build your sales page according to them. Build your sales message according to them. You need to realize who you're talking to. So let's say if I go back to this one, right? Let's say you want to only write for people who know what meditation is. They're aware of the solution. So maybe your headline will then become meditate while you drive to work, right? Without, let me just move this, go to webinar scene without without any planning, something like that, right? So now you already have jumped the 2 steps and you're going straight for people who understand the power of meditation. They're committed to a solution, as it says over here. So you now focus on this kind of audience, which means that anyone who hasn't even heard of meditation, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, this is not something for me, I'm just going to skip. But that's fine. You decide who you want to attract. Okay, if I go for this option, remember, I'm targeting to begin with everyone in America who drives to work. Everyone. But when I say meditate while you drive to work, I'm only targeting a smaller subset that understands the value of meditation. Right? So your landing page should be very precisely targeted to your audience type. Maybe you just say, screw it, I'm just going for the most aware people. So people who already know that you have a meditation course. And in that case, when you're emailing your own list, you're talking to your audience, you don't need to say meditate while you drive to work without any planning. You just need to say, we've just released our newest meditate while you drive product. Go buy. And they will buy it. They will just look at the price, they will consider alternatives, but they will buy it because they are most aware within the sales process. All right, does that make sense? Have you seen this kind of sales process before? Let me know. Okay, Vic says, I work with martial arts schools and build websites and also help them get better reviews. What would you think a good pain point, a product that I can sell to them? Any idea? Okay, Vic, I'll cover this in a second. So I'm just going to make a note here. Okay, Giselle says, the key is a stage of awareness to write copy of where the reader or prospect is at and lead them to where you want them to be. Exactly. You take them, Giselle makes a very good point, that your job is to take people from here to here. And that's how you write your sales copy. So my sales copy very much might open with the premise, how to enjoy your drive to work, right? But then I will say that while you are, one of the key ways in which people, one of the key things people struggle with when they're driving to work is all the chaos around them, all the confusion, all the distractions. So I'm now focusing on, I'm slowly moving towards solution. So now first I talked about the problem. Now I'm saying a quick way to overcome this would be to feel at ease, to feel peaceful, to feel that everything is okay. And the way to do that is via meditation, right? So we've already made them problem aware. Now we're focusing on the solution. That's meditation. Then now they know about the meditation part, right? Then we say, how can we be the right people for them? Why us? I've been in that situation where I've driven to work and I just couldn't find peaceful couple of minutes for myself. And then I found meditation. So you go forward with that. You go into product aware, you go into most aware. Slowly you move people through that journey. Okay? And it says, this is brilliant. I've heard that from you before. Exactly. I mean, this is a concept we talk about quite a lot because it just simplifies the way you sell. And really, I mean, if you have to educate someone about meditation, your market is still too big. You don't want that. When you're starting out, you want people who are more or less ready to buy a product, not your product, but a product. Then your job is to sell them your product. But if you go after people who you have to teach, you're going to spend a long, long time. Now that's okay if your product cost is like, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000 because the ROI is good. But if your product is like $7, you don't really want to target people who don't know anything about meditation because it wouldn't be worth the ROI. The time you spend, the money you spend will not be worth the ROI. Okay? So based on what Sandeep said, I work with martial arts schools and build websites and also help them get better reviews. What would you think a good pain point or product I can sell to them? Any idea? So I'm guessing a lot of martial arts schools struggle, number one, to get new customers, right? So they struggle to get, I don't know what's up with this today. Okay, one of the things they struggle with is to get new customers. So you can build a product that teaches them the process of getting new customers, or you sell that as a service. Maybe another thing they struggle with is communication with their customers, right? Or follow-up to get feedback, to get testimonials. Maybe you can create a product or a service to teach them that. Now, I will tell you this, that a lot of local businesses don't have time to go through courses. They just don't. So if you try and sell a course to a local business, they're not going to pay any attention. They'll be like, yeah, $49 not worth it. I'm never going to go through it. Instead, you should just give them results. Instead of taking them through the process, give them results. So when it comes to customers, partner with someone who knows Facebook ads and generate traffic for them locally. When it comes to communication or follow-up, partner with a copywriter who can write good email. Bring them into the loop as well. Right? So the products and services that you offer need to be heavily customized sometimes to your target market. That is if you're working with especially local markets. Maybe you also have a copy-paste service, a service that you do for everyone, where you say, hey, I'm going to help you rank on the first page of Google. And if you have that too, that is perfectly fine. Does that make sense? Sandeep, let me know if that answers your question. Perfect. If not, we can brainstorm some more. That's what this session is for. Like I said, I appreciate everyone being here, so I want to make sure I answer all the questions. But okay, the landing page. We've just been talking about the opt-in page or the sales page, one of those, whichever you want to consider. There's also the question of thank you page. Now, a lot of people don't pay attention to that, especially me. We get super lazy with thank you page because we're like, hey, people have paid already. Doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I do that too often. But here's why a good thank you page is important. If you've got a good thank you page, this is the first step to your retention, especially with recurring customers. When you have sold something, what your customers don't want to feel is, oh no, what have I done? Right? That's not the feeling they should get. They should feel excited. They should be like, wow, this is going to be awesome. I've just bought this CD on meditation. This is just going to be amazing. So then you shouldn't make them feel like, oh, great, thank you very much. We'll send you the CD in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. That's not good enough. Ideally, you want to keep them engaged because remember, they can be repeat customers as well. You know this for a fact that acquiring new customers costs much more than retaining old ones. So spend all the energy you can here to retain them, to keep their attention on you. So here's what I would do. If I was selling those meditation CDs, here's what I would do. I would put up a thank you video. I would say, hey, thank you so much, or some text, thank you so much. I've taken down all the details from you. I think we're good to go. We'll send you your meditation CDs in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, here's what I wanted to do. I know that you're probably okay waiting for 2 weeks to get those CDs, but I don't want you to wait that long. I want you to get started tomorrow. So what I've done is I've taken 5 of my best meditation tracks and I put them in the zip file or whatever other way works for you to deliver. Here's how you can get them for free, or you can even do a paid upsell. That's up to you. I'm not going to judge you if you do a paid upsell. I think it's perfectly fine. Or you can just say, hey, you can download them for free. And if you like this, then you can come back to this page and you can also buy more, whatever your offer is. But spend your energy now to thank them, to welcome them, and to let them know that You're there for them. I don't know how, I have to check now. I don't know how a Kyvio thank you page looks like or if it even works. Yeah, it does work. So thank you for signing up. Now follow these steps. Click to attend the webinar and join our awesome Facebook group and check out our new knowledge base, blah, blah. Here's some videos you can watch. Here's the comments what people are saying about, Kyvio, about InstaSuite. And that just, we have their attention for a little bit longer. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing because now they don't feel like we just took their money and ran. People feel that this is cool. I mean, their follow through is nice. So that's what you must do as well. You should have thank you pages where you reaffirm the idea as to why they bought something. The best way to do that, like I said, I've seen is videos. Could be a short video, could be a long video, it doesn't matter. Whatever, like, you're giving additional value. People like that. All right, so landing pages, usually there's a sales page and a thank you page. There are many different variations to that. You can have, I said landing page, a funnel, but you can have like opt-in page, you can have upsell pages, downsell pages, registration pages, different kinds of things. But it all boils down to this simple setup. Does that help? Let me know. Okay, is this session recorded and will we get a link? Yes, absolutely, both of them. Both of them. I made enough mistakes of not recording the session, so yes, this one is. Okay. All right. Then, the third thing I want to talk about is email marketing. So we've already spent some time working on talking about a product, talking about the landing page. Now we talk about email marketing. Now here's a funny thing. Email marketing actually is just an extension of the landing page, right? So I'm just going to put this kind of landing page in the middle, which is the sales page where you're trying to sell something. And you hopefully by now have the lead as well. I mean, if you don't, it's a different thing, but by now, hopefully you have the lead by an opt-in page or they're already your customer. Now, if you're like me, which is you have one core product that you sell over and over again, you're going to run into trouble sooner or later. Because you're going to have to find ways of selling the same thing in different ways, right? You sell the product once, people say, no, thank you. Do you just stop selling it next time? No, you sell it from a different angle. I have to say, I absolutely love those, what are those called? The QVC videos online, the telemarketing sales video, sales ads or whatever you call them, right? That app cruncher video. So let me just find one of those. I think I'll go back to YouTube. Right, something like this. Like let's go in here, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. Right, I'll just kind of play this for a second. But look at them. They start with a problem, right? And they show basically people struggling to overcome that problem and it being a really, really difficult thing, and that doesn't work. But what does work is what these people are doing. And I don't know if that guy's wearing anything, but what does work, this is what life could be like. And it could be with this product. Right? So I absolutely love watching ads like these. Why? Because they are perfect representation of what a sales copy should be. But what they're doing is they're pointing to the same thing from different angles. Right? When they do testimonial reels, one of them is a mother of 2 children. One of them is a father who goes to work. One of them is a mother who goes to work. One of them is a father who stays at home. One of them is a grandpa who wants to spend more time with the kids, and one has abs to look great. Whatever, just different kind of people. All they're doing is the same thing I'm telling you here, is they're approaching the same message, the same rather sales page, but different messaging. So your emails do the same thing. When someone opts in, typically you have an autoresponder sequence, right? So you send them an email, and then after that, it goes on to another email, and after that, it goes on to another email, and so on and so forth, right? You drive them through that process. That's what you do. But once that email sequence is done, 10% of people on your list have bought, 90% have not. What do you do? Do you just say, let's not sell this product ever again because, I can't possibly do that? No. You put that in another sequence 1 month later. So 1 month later, oops, 1 month later, you find another way to sell that product, and now you approach it differently. You talk about it differently. It's the same thing, but you're focusing on a different problem. You're focusing on a different solution. That's the way to do it. And that's where emails become really effective. Now, a mistake most people make, myself included, most of the time, is that, typically when someone signs up, we have like 7 emails that we send them. In case of Kyvio, we have a lot more, but that's because we're changing, we're improving. But when someone signs up, we send them 7 emails. And after they're done, we put them on a general broadcast list. So we only mail them when we have to, when we want to. We send them an email then. But a better way to do that would be when you have these 7 emails, when they're done, you add 7 more for a different series, and then 7 more for a different series, and then 7 more for a different series. And you just keep on going, right? They need to be coherent. You can't go from, hey, here's how you lose weight to, hey, here's how you train your dog. They can't be 2 random things. But it's okay if you go from meditation to yoga, right? It's okay if you go from yoga to, I don't know, like what kind of music you should hear when you are trying to go to bed. It's okay if you eventually go to, hey, last week I had car troubles, here's what I did. That's fine, because you know that that's what your target market does. They drive, right? So instead of just sending broadcasts, what you should be doing in an ideal world is you should be extending your sequences before they end, of course, because otherwise, the customers will not get emails in time. So just before an email sequence is about to end, add another one at the back of it, and then another one, and then another one. I know people that have sequences built out for 2 years. 2 years, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, you might think, Neil, everything changes in 2 years. It does. And so do their email sequences. I'm not saying that they don't touch it anymore, but they have specific areas they cover. And if they find that there's been big development in an area, they go in and they change that email. But the sequence remains intact. The sequence remains the same. Does that make sense? It's the long play with email marketing. It's the play where you spend a lot of time building an asset, because then all you have to do is just drive traffic. Your entire email funnel will take care of everything else. All right. Yep, Sandeep says the audio seems to be cutting out sometimes. Sandeep, it might be my internet. To be honest, I don't think it's you. Next week things will be better, but when I'm traveling, internet might be a bit flaky. But hopefully the replay is fine. Okay. Ruben asked a great question. What would be acceptable open rate at email marketing? Ruben, well, the simplest answer is depends. But I think it's also about what market you're in. It's also about, what kind of people you're serving, how long they've known you, that sort of thing. But if I was to give you an answer, let me think. Give me a second and I will. Okay, so if you are looking to send out emails, if it's an autoresponder sequence, that is when someone just, buys something from you or opts in, you send them an automatic email. Depending again on how you're delivering it, maybe if you're delivering content on the thank you page, then, then they're not going to have any motivation to join to check the email. But if you're not delivering content via thank you page, then let me get rid of this. Then you could have as much as 50%. 50% open rate, for the first one. Third one might be 45%, then goes on to like 37%, 30%, 28%, and ideally it should stay around that range. It shouldn't go down below that. Again, depends on how long someone's been on your list. Maybe sometimes the email headline sucks. Maybe sometimes, you moved on to the wrong kind of email after the first one. Maybe your hook in the first email wasn't strong enough for them to open the second email. So it really depends, and the numbers can vary. But I mean, those are great numbers, I think. They could be better, of course. I know people who do better, but those numbers are already good enough. So yeah, the point is you do lose people through the process. And here's the funny thing as well. Just because this number is lower than this one doesn't mean that you lost 2% of people. It just means that at some point, those 2% weren't paying attention. They might open the next one. Next rate might be still lower, 26, but maybe these 2% of people paid attention, but the rest 4% didn't. So don't be too quick to judge. If your numbers are going down, don't think that everyone's losing attention. They're not. Maybe they're just paying attention at different times. Does that make sense? Okay, great. What do you think about messenger marketing and the chatbots, Ruben? I love it. I mean, again, this is my fault that we haven't done enough of it in Kyvio, but I absolutely love it. I think it's something that can build that omnipresence that I've heard being talked about so much, right? So again, we're kind of going on a different topic, but I will talk about this quickly. But if you can target people via Facebook, right? If you can target them via email, if you can target them via, say, SMS, I mean, you can do a lot of cool things. Don't annoy people, don't bug them, but everyone has different things they focus on. For example, I'm really fast at WhatsApp messages. I'm really fast at Facebook messages. I'm slower at Facebook notifications. I'm worse at my emails. I don't check emails sometimes for 2-3 days. I'm really fast in my team communication. So it really depends on how you're approaching this. Okay? All right. So that is it about this. Now, let me see. I'm just going to rub this off. All right. Let me just go back to this over here. Now, I did want to show you how to build each and every component, but I have to say, I don't feel too good. Don't know why that is. Maybe something I ate, or I need to just go and eat something. So if it's okay, we can end this session now. But on the next one on May 29th, I'll cover this part as well. This one showing how to build all of this inside of Kyvio. So I'll save this and we'll make sure we discuss this next week. And then I'll also talk about building a recurring membership business. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm sorry about this quick change. I've got a flight early in the morning tomorrow. I also want to make sure that I don't feel too badly when I wake up. Okay, cool. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. And I'm going to make sure that the team sends out the replay to you tomorrow. And if they don't, do immediately, or if you want to check it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll make sure that we are, let me see, how can I give you this link to subscribe? Okay, just go to one of these videos. Okay, just go to this video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll make sure that you'll get a notification tomorrow when the new video goes live. All right, cool, perfect. I appreciate that very much. Have a good rest of the day. I hope you found this session useful, by the way. If you did, can I just ask you, okay, can I ask you for this favor? Let me get the link. And if you did find the session useful, just go ahead and make a post. Let me share with you. Where can you make the post? It's in the, yeah, there. So yeah, if you found the session useful, just go ahead and make a post here. And that's just so that everyone knows that we're active and we're running sessions, and that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Okay, Giselle, Annette, Sandeep, Michael, Felipe, Ruben, great to hear from all of you. It's been lovely, and I look forward to the next week session. Bye.